Alright, let's dive into something that's been making headlines recently, and trust me, it's a doozy. Imagine this. A plan backed by none other than Donald Trump, aiming to bring peace to one of the most volatile regions in the world, Gaza. Sounds like a blockbuster plot, right? But here's the twist. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just said, nope, not happening. And personally, I think this rejection is way more than just a political move. It's a window into the complexities of Middle Eastern politics and the challenges of peacemaking. What makes this really interesting is the context. The plan, which was touted as a breakthrough, involved Hamas laying down its weapons in exchange for an Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. On paper, it sounds like a fair deal, a step toward stability. But here's where it gets messy. Netanyahu's rejection isn't just about the specifics of the plan. It's about Israel's long-standing security concerns, the trust deficit with Hamas, and the domestic political pressures Netanyahu faces. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just a yes or no decision, it's a reflection of decades of conflict, mistrust, and competing narratives. One thing that immediately stands out is Trump's involvement. Trump has always positioned himself as a deal-maker, someone who can solve problems others can't. But what many people don't realize is that Middle East peace deals are rarely about the deal itself. They're about the relationships, the history, and the emotional stakes involved. Trump's approach, while bold, might have overlooked these nuances. In my opinion, peacemaking in this region requires more than just a document. It requires empathy, patience, and a deep understanding of the players involved. Now, let's talk about Hamas. The plan hinged on them disarming, which, let's be honest, is a massive ask. Hamas has built its identity around resistance, and asking them to give up their weapons is like asking them to give up their raison d'etre. From my perspective, this raises a deeper question. Can peace be achieved without addressing the root causes of the conflict? What this really suggests is that any sustainable solution needs to go beyond just disarmament. It needs to address the political, economic, and humanitarian issues that fuel the tension. And then there's Israel's side of the story. Netanyahu's rejection isn't just about Hamas, it's about Israel's security doctrine. Israel has always prioritized security above all else, and any plan that involves withdrawing from territory is going to be met with skepticism. A detail I find fascinating is how this rejection plays into Netanyahu's political calculus. He's facing pressure from his right-wing base, who see any concession as a sign of weakness. So, this decision isn't just about Gaza, it's about his political survival. If you zoom out, this whole situation highlights a broader trend in global politics: the difficulty of brokering peace in deeply divided regions. It's not just about getting two sides to agree, it's about navigating historical grievances, ideological differences, and geopolitical interests. Personally, I think what this moment really shows is how fragile and complex the pursuit of peace can be. It's not just about signing a document, it's about building trust, which is something you can't rush. So, where does this leave us? Netanyahu's rejection might feel like a setback, but it's also an opportunity to rethink our approach to peacemaking. Maybe the next plan needs to be more inclusive, more nuanced, and more focused on long-term reconciliation. What do you think? Is peace in Gaza even possible, or are we just chasing an impossible dream? Let me know in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going.